I can barely hear it now.
Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi guys, how are you? We're having some technical difficulties.
My headphones weren't working, and I kept turning it up and making Danna go deaf.
It was really loud in my headphones, but it's kind of funny that it's over a year and we still can't figure this thing out.
Rodecaster Pro.
It's only been a year, still can't get it. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. You know when I sat down.
I know. I sat down earlier in my pool.
That was a good deep breath. It felt nice. Oh, yes. You pooled all day. I was unable to attend.
I have had more
party.
pool time in the last week than I think I had the entire summer last year.
Well, lucky you.
It's pretty great.
She's pretty tan.
I am tan.
On YouTube.
I'm never this tan.
I'm not tan.
Well, you are kind of tan. You're a little tan.
Not really.
It was so cute at work. I was like, look at this tan line from my watch. And she's like, well, I have one too. And I was like, okay. You do.
No, but I told you what it was for.
She said it's from a farmer.
It's called the farmer tan.
Okay, but if you're watching on YouTube, you need to see the difference.
I mean, you're so tan.
It's ridiculous.
You're a brown bear.
I have green skin, I feel like. It's olive.
You are more olive.
Yeah, it's kind of green.
Listen, there's no rest for the weary. I have stuff to get done. I've been plowing through it.
It's crazy right now. You know why, guys? Because it's officially the start of strawberry season. So it's so crazy right now getting ready for strawberry season, but it's super fun. I've never gotten to work in the summer. It's fun for me because I'm watching you look like a Looney Tune.
I'm wearing my strawberry earrings.
She has strawberry earrings. I bought a strawberry shirt. I bought you a strawberry shirt. Maybe I'll wear it.
When are we going to wear them? When are we going to twin?
Old
Navy has those strawberry shirts every year.
Well, your sister-in-law came in the market the other day, and she has it too.
She has everything.
That's what she said. She's like, oh, I buy one every year. Do they have one this year?
She got the Brooks red, white, and blue tennis shoes. So
she told me that.
You told her about them.
Yeah, because I told her that she needed to get them. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're very festive around here.
That's okay.
Sorry.
As I sip my Capri Sun.
That is kind of odd of you, but that's okay.
I love a Capri Sun.
Well, that's good.
Especially Pacific Cooler and kiwi strawberry.
I'm not a fan. So I have some things to chat about. Okay. So I made a list, but this one's legit. So I have to tell you guys what happened to me this week. And I can only discuss it now that it has been resolved and rectified and my life is okay. But this is my warning that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So, according to my husband, I literally just gave all of our money to a Nigerian prince, but I did not. But so Olivia, my daughter, was like, Mom, I really want to go to Taylor Swift. And I was like, this was way back when. And I was like, we're not going to Taylor Swift. Get over it. And then
tell them why we're not going to Taylor Swift.
Because you're not. Well, we're going to Pink. That's
another life lesson. Never let your friends
do not let your friends who make way more money than you buy tickets for something, because we would not have purchased tickets at this level. But we rolled with it, and now we're going, and we have really good seats.
Do we have really good seats?
I have no idea. Sure. I don't even know. But so that's life lesson number one. So
she blew all of her money on.
So I was like, we're not. And Liv doesn't even like Pink as much. She does. She does. But she would rather go to Taylor Swift. But that wasn't even on my radar. Well, all of a sudden, I am on Facebook the other day, and I'm on a local city's, Facebook page. Every local city has their page. And this one had someone posting that she was selling 3 Taylor Swift tickets for $350 a piece. Face value. That was what she purchased them for. So I messaged her. She didn't say what she was selling them for. I messaged her and said, how much are you selling them for? She said $350. She said, my daughter bought the tickets and she had a baby and it's just too much going on. We have to sell the tickets. And we just want our money back at this point. So I was like, oh, all right. But I'm Tom and I really don't want to spend money right now. We're trying to be good. And it's we're going on vacation next month. We just don't need to spend the money. So I kind of talked myself out of it, even though I'm like, geez Louise, $350, I could sell these if nothing else. But I decide I'll just wait. So the next night, I'm telling my lovely friends about this, and I got peer pressured into buying the tickets. They're like, are you crazy, Taylor?
I was not a peer pressure.
Kristin was not, but Kristin's husband was. So
Bill was?
Oh, he totally was like, dude, you should just get them. And then Carrie said it, and everyone's like, you should get the tickets.
He moped around the house for like 2 weeks after we bought the pink tickets.
He was so angry with us. I never see him get mad, and he was so angry. So he really was not a fan of that purchase. And it's funny because he's quite frivolous with some things. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so I'm
shaking my head like a big,
this is so bad. So the lady's like, okay. So I messaged the lady the next day. I'm like, hey, are those tickets still available? And she's like, yes. So first of all, that should have been red flag number 1 because Taylor Swift tickets, like, come on, are you kidding me? So I say the thing said, or best offer. So I'm like, hey, are you willing to take $250 a piece if I take all 3? And she's like, yeah. So $750. And I said, yeah. And now this woman has 2 mutual friends with me on Facebook. So I messaged.
It probably wasn't a woman.
It probably was a Nigerian prince. So
a prince wouldn't be doing this.
So, but don't you ever see the scam artists? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I messaged my 2 friends. I'm like, hey, do you know this girl? They're like, yeah, she's legit. It's fine. Don't worry. So I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, they didn't like say it just like that, but whatever. They knew who she was. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, cool. Everything's fine. So the girl's like, send Venmo me the money, but I need you to Venmo. It's my daughter's account because I don't have Venmo. Okay, no problem. But also a red flag. Also, hindsight's 2020. But in my head, like, a lot of like the older generation does not have Venmo, so it would like not be a weird thing that she would have me send it to her daughter. And these were her daughter's tickets. This made sense in my head. So I Venmo $750.
What about the grammar of the communication?
At this point, the grammar was correct.
Okay.
At this point, all grammar was correct. I will let you read these.
The English language was not broken.
And everything was fine at this point. So then I send the money. Nothing happens. Like crickets. I'm like, So then I'm like.
I'm only laughing because this is done.
It's only funny because it's over and done. And I will like give a spoiler alert that I did get my money back. But so
not from the person.
Not from the person. So the person's like, I messaged her and I said, hey, are you going to email me those tickets? And she said, yes, I'm at work. And then once I get home from work, I will send them through my Ticketmaster.
This takes a lot of work to be a liar.
Yes. But this is where the grammar started to change. It was like, at work, we'll send Ticketmaster. It was a little funky. And I was like, oh, is she drunk? Like, what happened here? I don't know. But okay, we'll just keep moving. So I was like, no problem. Can you just let me know when you're going to send them? And she said nothing. So within an hour, I get a message on Facebook from a totally random person that is like, hey, this is super creepy of me to even message you, but this is where this is even funnier. I was seeing on the Venmo page, where you can see people's Venmo transactions. I saw that you just paid someone money for Taylor Swift tickets because I had put it, in there. And she's like, my girlfriend is literally, I think, talking to the same person about getting these tickets, and I'm hoping it's not a scam, but can you tell me the tickets, like which seats they were? So I immediately I'm like, oh boy, I screwed up. Now I'm realizing I am screwed. That's a bad word. Sorry. I am out of luck. So I tell the girl the tickets. She's like, I am so sorry to tell you this, but I think that you got scammed. She's like, this girl's trying to sell the same ones to my friend. And I'm like, great. This is great. This is
Tom
great.
Is gonna be so
my husband
happy.
is good. This is how divorces happen. So I'm like, okay, I don't even know what to do. So now I message the original person again, and I'm like, so assuming this is a scam. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll show it to you.
And she said, yes.
She said, well, we decided to change we don't want to take $250. We're losing money. We want $350. And I'm like, well, what? You told me. So then now I know.
You sent the money at $250.
Correct. And I even screenshotted her where she accepted that money. And so she's like, yeah, no. She's like, so I'll just Venmo you your money back. So I'm like, what? Okay. I was so confused. I was so annoyed, knowing I'm not going to get my money back. At this point, I'm watching $750 just go literally down the toilet drain. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Just send me the money back. She immediately blocks me on Facebook. And I'm like, my heart is beating so hard because all I can think of is my husband.
Once I lost $750, wasn't it $750?
No, it was $600. It's still missing. I got mine back, so I won.
Yeah, I did not get mine back.
If anyone has purchased a Buick Enclave used, you may find random $600 because we do think it's somewhere in that car, in that old car, in Kristin's old car. So bottom line is I then contact Venmo. They're like, oh, we'll open an investigation. I contact my bank. My bank's like, well, nothing has come out of it, out of your account yet. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. Okay, well, maybe Venmo stopped it. So this was like 3 days ago. Nothing happens. Yesterday, bam, $750 out of my checking account. I'm like, so I call Chase. That's where my bank is. And
way to go, Chase.
Way to go, Chase, on this one. They were like, oh, it's an ACH transaction, which means, for those of you not familiar with banking, it just means that it's like basically cash coming directly out of your account or into your account.
Just so you know, Danna has an exclusive
so that's the worst part of this, is I have a huge banking and financial background, and I would get so angry when I would deal with clients that had been scammed, because I'm like, how stupid are you? And I was the person now.
But you wanted to get those
and it seemed legit, you guys. It did. It totally. And it was someone that we had mutual friends with. So basically, Chase is like, oh, it's an ACH. We can just put a stop payment on it, similar to, it's basically an electronic check. So I'm like, okay, great. Chase saved the day. The money, as of this morning, is back in my account. Everything has been rectified and fixed. Venmo also emailed me today to tell me that I could go basically pound salt. There was nothing they could do about it. So, yeah, I did get that email today.
Didn't they say, didn't you click the little button that says protect your purchase?
They said, did you click the button that says protect your purchase? And I was like, no. I didn't even know that was like something I should have done. So the moral of the story is if you Venmo someone that you're not 100% familiar with or sure about, click protect your purchase. Even if it charges a small fee, it's clearly worth it.
Just don't buy Taylor Swift tickets.
Or don't buy Taylor Swift tickets online. But nonetheless, I found out after the fact that we're pretty sure that this lady's page got hacked, and that's I've seen multiple posts now on multiple Facebook pages of this happening. So please be careful out there. So that was my 11-minute story. Sorry, but I'm very
11 minutes and 47 seconds.
It ruined my entire. Well, it ruined like an hour.
We all kind of enjoyed watching this go down,
though. Well, everyone laughed at me.
I feel like we knew you were going to get your money back because you were so.
I was not so sure, but like Bill did send me a picture of a Nigerian prince, and Tom kept saying
another like one that said scammer.
Scammer. It was like blinking. It was like one of those GIFs or GIFs. I never know if I'm saying it correctly. A GIF, yeah. And it said it was like blinking scammer. I'm not a scammer. It said. I was like, oh, you guys are so funny. Everyone's got the jokes. So that was my weekend. But now I feel like I'm freaking $750 richer, and I should just go shopping because I'm not out the $750.
Tomorrow you can go shopping. You have like a little Danna day tomorrow.
Well, a little.
Yeah. So we went to lamb camp.
Definitely as exciting. Actually, it really was. Tell about it.
It was pretty fun.
Because it was pretty cool.
Basically, like for Danna's friends or friends that are not agricultural related, land camp's like a coach. So it's like a clinic, like a basketball or a softball clinic, only you take your animal.
So I really think that's such a great way to describe it because I'm someone that is not familiar with this at all. Mm-hmm. And I think that people don't realize that there is like an actual almost sport that goes along with this.
It is totally a sport.
And I don't think people realize like this side of agriculture and farming, because I had no idea that this existed, like the competition part of it and the showing side of it. And it is, you're absolutely right in saying that it like compares to a basketball clinic.
So you take and it's a workout. Like it's a workout for the kids, the sheep. But, you know, you take your truck, you take your trailer, you take your pop-up tent, which we had to borrow Danna and Tom's. Which I laughed. I'm like, never in a million years did you imagine your pop-up tent would have some sheep underneath it.
It normally just has sand on the beach from Hilton Head in it.
Yeah, so it had sheep. So we took our fans and like the whole setup, you know. Everybody takes a dish. They had some amazing barbecued pork. It was a good day. And Jack likes to talk about like how ripped he is. Apparently they lifted today.
He lifted with Tom
today. He says he's sore and he could not braise sheep.
I need to give Jack a quick little shout out here because these kids, so they officially, which I hate the term, that they graduated 8th grade. They had a moving up ceremony. I think that all of this, I want you to know,
promoted.
Is kind of silly. I think that you have a high school graduation and a college graduation, and I kind of think the rest is kind of silly, but whatever. They're going to a new school next year, so fine. But Jack, all 4 years of middle school, had straight A's, and I think I thought it was not as big of a deal until I saw how few kids got it in the entire school. And I was like, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jack on that one because Olivia missed it by like 1 B and she was pretty salty about it.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty cool that
he spoke at graduation. It was great.
Did.
So he said that his biceps were going to get so ripped from showing sheep. And so, because you have to use your hand to hold there. I mean, it is. It's a lot.
He's probably totally sore after?
He was. He said he was sore. And then your leg muscles you use to brace. And he's like, this is no joke. I mean, they were sweating.
I would imagine. So Tom said today he lifted with him and their other friend, his other friend. And he told Carrie, the other friend's mom, that how well the boys did. And he said that he bets that within 2 to 3 years, the boys will be stronger than he is. And Tom's really strong. Tom's very strong. He lifts a lot. And he was like, these boys are really going to like be so strong. He's like, to start at this age and like be so good about it. Like they're doing so well. So
yeah.
Little side note, really impressed.
So we had lamb camp. Bill went to the memorial tournament.
Tom was jealous.
Yeah. And so I had lamb camp. He went to Columbus for that. You know, he dressed all nice and went to like a little bit of a foofy thing. And I was just covered in filth and dust and dirt. So, you know.
It's a normal day in the Patterson household.
It's like our life. So, Kim's calling.
Oh, your dad's calling.
Yes, he is. We have some sheep talk to do. Speaking of sheep, for the upcoming All-American Junior Sheep Show in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's the one at the end of the month you're going to?
It is. Mm-hmm. It's the big show.
So speaking of farm animals, do you want to tell everyone what happened to us last night?
Oh, yeah.
I think you have a great story to tell.
Well, it's actually your story.
No, it's yours.
Well, it's really
I kept driving.
After Jack, you kind of did. After a soccer game, we met in town for dinner, and then we left, and we kind of left in a caravan. Tom was first, then Danna, then Jack and I. And all of a sudden, Tom, so there's this little farm. I mean, it's kind of like a farmette, like on a road. And they have the best mailbox ever. So I think in all of Geauga County. So it used to be a farm called Marigold.
It used to be a bed and breakfast.
So this next family bought it. They kept the mailbox. I mean, I would love the mailbox. It's so cute. Anyways, I'm like, oh, there's like fox usually cross here, or coyotes, or deer.
I thought it was a deer. Tom stopped the truck. I totally thought, I was like, oh, there must be a deer
crossing. But I didn't
crossing.
see anything. And then all of a sudden you see these 3 little things like hopping
little,
over.
like really little.
And then Tom went on. Danna stopped for a second. And then she went on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're pygmy goats. It's the doe, the mom, and the 2 kids.
2 little babies. And the only reason I need this to be known that I kept driving because I saw your hazard lights go on behind me. And I knew that I was not going to pick up these goats, but you were. So I was like, she got this. And
I figured you were calling.
Yeah, and I called you. And I knew whose house it was. So I called the people, and they were laughing because they could not believe that their driveway is super, super long. And the barn is like way in the back. And they were like, how in the world did the goats get all the way
I don't know, but they would have been eaten in one bite by a coyote.
They were so tiny.
Like goats traditionally wear like a collar, the does. And so I'm like blocking the driveway.
I'm yawning. Are you yawning in the middle of our podcast? In
the middle of our podcast.
Now, if it's boring you, what do you think it's doing for our listeners?
So I'm like walking with the doe up the driveway, and then the kids, Jack's like, what do we do about the kids? And I'm like, they'll follow their mom.
So did they?
Oh, yeah, they followed. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, Jack, I have to move my car because if they come, I'm blocking the whole driveway.
Right.
And so then Jack's like pulling. I wish I could have gotten a video, but my phone wasn't working because he's like, she's not moving because goats can be stubborn.
Are they strong?
They seem it was so little. Yeah. But yeah, they I think are heavier than you think there.
Okay.
But anyways, we got them up there. They came. But the exciting part was that I've always wanted to see in this barn. So Jack's like shining his light through, and he's like, Kristin, this is like your dream inside. And I'm like, oh, let me look. Hold the goat. And so I'm like shining my camera light in there. So then they got there and they're like, well, you just want to see inside?
So they let you get a little tour.
Yes, please. Mm-hmm. So I finally got to see inside.
Can you imagine like pulling up your driveway and seeing people like peer through your barn? Like, what a bunch of creepers.
So anyways, we rescued the goats and it was all good. So
just another day in Chesterland.
Well, it was because Jack and I had worked outside all day. So we were just like, getting ready for sheep stuff. And I'm like, Jack, your dad's not responding very well today. He was at orientation for Sam at Ohio State.
You said you called him and he didn't answer the phone.
Oh, yeah. So then with the whole goat thing, I called, not about the goats, but about like just to say, hey, we're headed home. And he didn't answer. So the next picture we sent him was Jack with these 2 kids. I'm like, well, you didn't answer. So we went ahead and said yes. And he's like, funny, where are you? But the earlier picture, we took the market lambs in the house.
I still can't believe you brought your market lambs in the house.
Just like in the hallway. So we thought it was a huge wow factor for Bill that he would be like, what the heck is going on? Didn't even respond. It's a picture of Jack in the house with 200-pound Marca lambs.
I have discovered that your husband is not a great communicator.
He's not. He says he is, but he's not.
I strongly disagree.
Anyways, nothing. I got nothing out of him. I thought that I had this like fantastic like shock, like what the heck is going on? I leave
and he ruined it.
And he gave me nothing. Yeah. I think he knows that I like the shock factor.
What a stinker.
We didn't even get to talk about the potato draft. We'll have to save that for next week. Everybody, prepare. Get ready for your favorite kinds of potatoes.
This
next
is a big
episode.
deal. Bye, guys.
Next time, guys.